Ayo friendos, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have the Moonlit Seduction, the Mothership number 10 from Pat McGrath Labs here in studio. We're about to open her up, go through all 10 shades together, do swatches, do a look, and talk about my overall thoughts and feelings on the palette. Now, if you love Pat McGrath Labs, or if you're just interested in the Mothership palettes, then I invite you to subscribe now. I do cover all the Pat McGrath Labs Mothership palettes on my channel. Hope you guys are ready for this one. If so, friendos, just stay tuned. So guys, this is what our packaging looks like this time. Again, another gorgeous model. To me, this looks very similar to the model they used for the Mothership 9 palette. Honestly, I'll never get tired of this packaging. I just think it's so beautiful, and I like to keep mine. I'm really happy this time. It did not come busted up. It looks very nice so far. So let's open it up and pray that the palette hasn't shattered inside. And while I'm currently recording, this is only available on Pat McGrath's own website. This is not available yet on Sephora, and I don't know if it will be coming to Sephora. Here she is, guys. So gorgeous. Let me know what you think of this color story. I'm so happy to see that this little section over here is more frosty and more pastel looking. So guys, these lovely Mothership palettes come out only one time a year. That's something I really appreciate from the brand as a collector, because it just feels like a special time of year when we get that beautiful black lacquered Mothership palette. And I know a lot of people want the blues, they want the purples, they want to see something different from Miss Pat McGrath. And believe me, I want to say the same thing too. But I do feel like we are getting something drastically different this time with us seeing more frosty pastel shades. So let's go ahead and swatch these on my arm, and then we'll get into a whole look. This palette does retail for $128, and it's only available on Pat McGrath Labs right now as we record. All right, friendos, let's see all 10 shades. So here's our Skin Show Nude, and just by swatching it, she's already more brilliant than what we normally see. At least that's how it feels on my finger. Ooh, I love how blindingly white it is. Next up, we have that matte brown. That felt like a creamier matte as well. I'm telling you, PMG, they are stepping up their matte game. I'm liking their mattes more and more. Then we have this mauve shade. Now online, I thought that this looked more warm toned, but seeing it in person, it's just like all the Pat McGrath warm tones. They do just kind of lean neutral or cool. I'm not sure if this is going to be a Blitz Astral shade or not. This is the Golden Bronze shade. So I don't think that that is a Blitz Astral. However, it does look very metallic, very pretty. Now for what I would characterize as a white gold. Oh, it actually looks silver on my finger. Let's see what this is. What is this? Ooh. Friendos, this is why people buy Pat McGrath Labs. It's these shades right here. Now this next shade is matte, and it looks very berry in the pan. Ooh, very berry on my hand too. So that one actually looks true to how it looked online and how it looked in the pan to me. 4 to go. Now this looks like it's going to be a duochrome shade. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty, you guys. I hope this is picking up in my camera. This reminds me so much of Scarab from the Mel Thompson collab that she did with Sydney Grace. So beautiful. We have reflex of pink. We have reflex of blue and green. So on the back of my hand, I'm going to show you guys Scarab. And this is from Tiny Marvels. I've always loved the shade. This one is a little bit more on the reddish pinky side. Both are gorgeous. So this next one here looks like a frosty pink copper in the pan. Let's see. Ooh. It's very gorgeous. I feel like we're going to get so many beautiful, flattering looks out of this palette, you guys. Now, this is another soft, greeny gold. Y'all, this is so gorgeous. I think this is probably the most gorgeous Pat McGrath palette that will be in my collection. Okay, we're on to the very last one. This one, I'm seeing a little bit more kick up, but it's not bad. It's really not bad, just so you guys can see. Ooh. So this one isn't as opaque. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a lid topper, but that frosty light blue periwinkle in there has me living. All right, guys, I am so excited to play around in this palette and do a look. I hope you guys are too. Let's get into that right now. So let's get started with this rosy pink mauve. I'm going in on a Sephora crease brush. And friendos, you know how we do. I always do a 2 looks 1 palette video for Pat McGrath Labs whenever I get one of her Mothership palettes in. And this is blending in quite nicely. We have good pigmentation. Very pleased with the shade so far. Then on my units 203, we'll go in with that beautiful berry shade that we see right here. And I'm just taking this a little bit lower. Still doing that same circular motion. Dipping right back into the rosy mauve. So friendos, if you purchased one of the initial 3 Pat McGrath Labs Mothership palettes and you didn't like the mattes in those, if you thought that they were too dry, if you thought that they were hard to pick up on your brush, these to me are an improved formula. I don't mind the old mattes personally. I do think that they blended out well on the eye. I just think that they were a little bit harder to pick up with a brush. These are a little bit creamier. They remind me of somewhere between Natasha Denona and Huda Beauty mattes is how I would characterize the formulation of these mattes. So I'm just building this up, taking my time. Then on my NJC E05, I'm going to go in with this dark brown plummy shade. Actually, it's not plummy. It's just dark brown. The other day I used my Moonlit Seduction palette and I still have that plummy shade stuck in my head. But this one's just brown. So I'm just putting down a little bit more definition. And then we're going to start experimenting with those sparkly shades. So friendos, oddly enough, I feel like these matte shades between the dark brown and the plummy one, I don't really feel like they're mixing too well together. They're seeming to be just not blending out when they're together. That's kind of disappointing. And I decided I would pull this out just a little bit further because we have a lot of shades to work with. And this probably isn't going to be the most flattering look that you ever see me do on my channel. If we do a look like this, we can test out more shades, and that's what we want. Now, friendos, I'm going to start at the corner over here, and I'm going to work outward. So we're going to start out with the Skin Show Nude shade. And I always like to show you guys what something looks like with or without spray, because not everyone likes to spray their brush. So this is without spray. It looks really nice, white, and sparkly just on its own. Very beautiful. Now with spray, friendos, isn't that delightful? Looks like a winter wonderland on my eye right now. Next up, I'm going to go in with the pink coppery shade. And this is on a B103. I've never used this brush before, you guys, so might not be the best for this. I'm going to adjust my technique. And I'm going to use a little bit more compact of a brush and a brush that I've used plenty of times before. We'll go in with my unit 202. So I would say that's an improvement, but it's not night and day. Okay, guys, let's go in with this multi-chromatic shade next. Now this one went on much more pigmented than the last shade that I applied. So I think I'm going to sweep this across everything after spraying. And this one is so easy to build up. I'm loving this shade. This is likely to be one of my favorite eyeshadow shades of all time. So this one is very soft, you guys. I've made quite a dent in it. I'm not complaining here, I just want to let you guys know about that. I'm actually surprised that this palette didn't break because this was not well packaged. Then on my E06, I want to go in with this frosty periwinkle shade. And I'm going right over where I put the Skin Show Nude. This one does have some fallout. Definitely want to spray your brush for this one. And now on a flat definer brush, I'm going to take the mauve shade and just kind of go into my lower lash line. Okay guys, this is where the magic happens. I'm about to leave you for just a split second. I'm going to put on my liner lashes, come back to you, we'll finish up the look, and we'll talk about what I think about this palette. Okay friendos, I am back and I am loving this makeup look that I did today. I'm very happy with the palette overall. We'll get into that in just a sec. Let's finish off this look. So I have Buxom Hot Shot, and this might be on sale right now at Ulta. They have a promotion going on that my sister just informed me of. I'm gonna go in with Hourglass Empress. And then for today's blush, we'll dive right back into the palette. And I'm very lightly going to go in with the mauve and with the berry shade. So friendos, I have to tell you, I think this is one of the most beautiful looks I've ever done on my channel. Now, I'm partial to this kind of duochrome with the blue, with the red, with the green. It's just, it is up my alley. As far as the palette is concerned, there was good and there was bad. I was very well pleased that we got some frostier, lighter, more pastel shades in the palette. I've said that plenty of times. I liked the way that they performed. I thought that they were all very nice, especially the duochrome here. I also thought that the mattes were nice. I do think that this one was a little bit hard to blend out. It did want to go patchy on me when I mixed it with this shade right here. I'm going to experiment with this some more just to see if maybe these two they aren't meant to be. They're just not compatible. Or if this one actually is troublesome on its own. Didn't seem to be, but I didn't have enough eye space to really double check that. If I had to give this palette a rating, I think I would land at probably a B+. I do think it's amazing, and I do feel like the majority of you, if you were interested in the palette already, I do feel like you would enjoy this. I just have to let you guys know, just because it is such an expensive palette, I know some people are looking for absolute perfection, and realistically, this is not perfection. So I just wanted to clear the air on that. And again, if you are curious about this palette, well guys, I'm going to have a 2 looks 1 palette coming up very soon on my channel featuring the Moonlit Seduction palette. Let me know what you think of this look. Let me know what you think of the palette. If you think you'll plan to pick it up, I always like hearing from you guys and hearing your insights and opinions. If you did enjoy this video, then please give it a big thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. And of course, I hope that you'll subscribe if you have not done so already. Because if not, we'll both have to live in the sorrow of never knowing what could have been. All right, guys, have a fantastic day. Bye.